Okay, clear it all up. Clear it all up. These. You guys have been begging me for these. I just lower the volume here. Just lower the volume there because it's, you know, they're wireless. These are the wireless. These are the MH670s. I want to say 760 so bad. Maybe I'm only dyslexic for Cooler Master. So, we are continuing the long line of doing gaming headsets. There they are. I haven't sold any of them yet. The Audio-Technicas were like so comfortable, but fuck. Then those, the HyperX Clouds, are just solid. Now we're on to this. So eventually we'll get to the Corsair Virtuosos. So I keep adding on because it's one at a time. So these, now, the reason these are important, well, first of all, thank you, Cooler Master, for sending me out the 650s and 660s and 670s. And I'm not comparing to those yet. I'm going to do those all on their own. What's important about this is that it is the wireless version. So that's why I can compare it against these wireless versions. And I don't know if that's gender swap Bakugo or Bakugo's mom dressed up as him. We're just not going to argue about it in the comments, all about it in the comments, but okay. So wireless Bluetooth wireless headset, not Bluetooth. Again, dongle. Here's your little dongle you put here. You plug it in, you charge this up. These are the stock pads, by the way. You might be looking at these going, Zeos, did you swap out for Brainwaves pads? I did not. They've gone with a very large soft choice. I do not disapprove. The build is relatively robust. I don't really hate the plastic. Feels a little bit like gaming headset plastic, but like premium gaming headset plastic. Like I feel like you can get Cheeto dust in this eternally and it'll be fine. I will say that when you rotate this, it looks perfectly there, but then you do that and you expose, this isn't bad, but these are sharp. So be careful when you rotate that sharp. I love the way that the headset, when you have it closed though, it is just one smooth piece, big wide metal grip. That pad on top is just screaming, I want to be comfortable. They're a bit heavy, like they're heavy. Those Audio-Technicas weigh nothing, but these are like, these feel girthy. And they're big, they're like big. Like you can't manipulate them together almost. And if you do, that's like 5 inches. That's huge. These are huge. R&L listed on the inside. Volume wheel here, plastic. And this works with them on wireless or wired. I'm going to wire them up here to the Topping A90 in a bit, which, by the way, is sitting on one of the new Soundrise mini stands, the Soundrise Pro 5. And I think that's actually better use for it than using it as a speaker stand. Because look at it. Shh. It's also holding up my laptop, so I can do that. Soundrise makes some good stuff. A little bit pricey, but oof. It's actually, I don't know if I'm ever going to get to a review of the Soundrise stand, so it's probably better if I talk about them all the time. We've got, so volume up and down, which is not a digital slider, it's an analog. It feels like a volume wheel on an old Walkman. I'm old enough to know what an old Walkman volume wheel felt like. This is perfect for it. We've got the microphone mute button, which is on and off, and it is a, again, analog button. This is not a detriment. I like analog things. The pop might get dirty in that, but at least I don't have to wonder if I've muted it because it's either in or out. Here is the plug for the headphone. It is simply a 3.5 millimeter, although it does come with a locking jack. So you might have a hard time if you want to swap wires. However, getting off the topic for a second, this is one of the nicest wires. Like this is fabric, but smooth, just like the softest, straightest fabric wire. And I don't understand how Cooler Master can make this happen and other headphone manufacturers who just make headphones or just make wires fucking can't get it right. Like look at it just like a little bounce there, but that's fine. The end is another 4-pin, so you could use the microphone straight through without it being wireless. And I'm not going to plug it in yet. Hold, please. Hold. We're still examining the unit. Here's the microphone, right? So here's the microphone unit. It's sleek. This is a bit long for what it needs to be. Like, I don't think they need a 2-inch thing. They're going for pretty much aesthetics on that. Here's your point that faces you. It uses a covered bit that points at your mouth. It only goes in one way. They have a biased ear. What confuses me about this is why the fuck is there a door on this? Like, Detachable microphones are a thing. I get it. But why have me... Like, what are you gaining by not having that just be that? Is it an aesthetic thing? Is it just aesthetics to cover that? So that I have to pry out a rubberized thing and rotate it and hope it doesn't break off so I can plug that in to make it officially a gaming headset? I don't get it, because now it sits there. Because, I mean, if you're using it without the microphone, okay, you cover the hole. But if you're using it as a gaming headset with the microphone, now you got a fucking flappy little fucking rubber things just sitting there. I mean, you could probably, like, yank it out and break it, but so why not give me a plug for this, too? Since I'm not going to have it wired most of the time, if I'm going to have it, well, I don't, make up your mind. That's my big thing, is make up your mind. Microphone quality is okay. I tested it literally like 3 seconds. Okay, new email. Johnny Bravo tells me when I get emails. It's been a while. And you have your microphone mute button there, and then there's your microphone thing with this fucking door that just tickety. It's not even on the inside where you could like hide it. It blatantly is just there. I do like the fact that it doesn't say Cooler Master. They've eventually come to the point... I'm burning in IAMs. They come to the point now where that logo, the hexagon, it is 6-sided, right? The very smooth hexagon, that's it. That's all you need. We're Cooler Master. The other side, which is, see that green blink? That was nice. It just did it once. Power button, which is a momentary hold. Motherfucking USB micro, and I'll never understand it. By the way, blue LEDs, I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. Janky wires, I hate them, but there's plenty of alternatives. The problem in 2020 that Zeos is going to root against is why the fuck you keep putting USB micros? Why do I keep getting brand new beautiful things with USB micros on them? Like, it doesn't make sense. They're not the best connector. Go back to Mini, or go to C, or stop putting USB on things. So that is simply a charge port. You cannot use it as like a USB gaming. It won't act as a sound card when you plug it in. At least according to the manual, it won't do that. It just says plug it in to charge. And here is a 7.1 button, which has 2 modes. SAS, B&D. SAS is sharp as shit, and B&D is boring and dull. Because it doesn't actually make this surround sound. Like, you fucking words. Do you understand the words of what surround sound is? Like, here's a speaker and there's a speaker, and I could have stereo. And in real life, I could have another speaker behind me and then another speaker in front, and then a 0.1 would be a subwoofer on the floor. Is there a subwoofer? Yeah, subwoofer on the floor. And that gives me surround sound. With a setup like this and 2 drivers, which is all you need in a headphone because it's so close to your ear that having minute changes in distance of like that won't affect you, means that you're just doing some sort of fake, you're doing a thing. You're just doing a thing. You're saying it's 7.1. That shouldn't be what you say. But 7.1 is a selling point. You could put it on a thing. Oh, it's a 7.1 surround sound. I'm surprised it doesn't say just, you know what? It would be more honest, and I'm not joking. It would be more honest to say 7.2. Because there's 2 sides. So you could then claim that this is a subwoofer and this is a subwoofer. But then you also couldn't claim 7 because that would mean you have an odd number and there's no way to divide odd unless you put the center channel on one side. Put the center channel on one side and the subwoofer on the other side. That'll game great. So it's not a button that actually makes surround sound. It's a let's do some funky DSP shit and make it sound better for gaming. And I think the SAS mode, which by the way, I made those up. Those are not terms you'll see. But the sharp as shit mode is probably the mode you're going to play with if you're doing gaming or if, and I'm testing with music. I have a YouTube video that I keep up called Squad Realistic War Sound, which has 191 likes and 1 dislike because someone's an asshole. And it's just the game Squad, which I had to uninstall because it was 60 gigs and I had to encode video. But it has some of the best, just look that up. Look up Squad Realistic War Sound if you want on YouTube. And it's got some of the best, just like positional, like actual sounds that you'd care about in a first-person shooter. And footsteps and footsteps and footsteps. Footsteps. And so instead of us calling that a 7.1 button, let's just call that the sound effect button. And either you put it in a sound effect mode where the treble gets cranked And everything's like, ooh, it gets closer to you and more aggressive. And I've actually, with music at least, I got into that mode, and occasionally it's like fine, it's fine. It actually, if we want to go for overall sound quality of these headphones, like, oh, Zeos, do they beat the MH751s? No. Wait. Maybe. Because the MH751s were a dumb set of headphones in the fact that they didn't have power. Now, I haven't even picked up. They have the USB one, and they have just a straight up headphone. And the straight up headphone one could be the best one. I'm going to get to it. I don't want to start sitting here with 3 different headphones, because then I would just do one giant competitive thing. They'd all be stupid. Besides, you get 3 wallpapers out of this. With the wireless setup, I originally put them on, started listening, went, huh, these are a bit softer than I thought they'd be. Yeah, I could kind of chill to these. I could just relax and listen to music. They don't have very good imaging. They have very good sound. Like, soundstage was nice and wide, and then sounds happened, and the sounds, when you have good imaging, you could tell this right across, like, the field. Like, everything is happening across, and you know exactly where it is. When imaging is poor, it's more like left, right, middle. The bits in between is sort of like hazy. It feels a little veiled, and it's just, but it was a wonderful just listening experience. I was enjoying listening to music with it. And then I hit the, actually, wait, I didn't just hit the 7.1 button, because listen. Is that affected by the, hold on. Is that affected by the volume knob? Yeah, it is. Okay, so apparently this. Bomb has been planted. Terrorists win. Can I say that on YouTube? Is it going to get, like, demonetized because I said that? But yeah. That button beeps, but doesn't do anything. To switch between the modes, these surround magic modes, you have to hold it, but it beeps. So I'm looking for the manual to see what the fuck does the beep do, and the beep does nothing. It just tells you hit the button. So that took like 5 minutes out of my life to try to figure that shit out. Because I'm like, wow, the 7.1 button doesn't do anything. And then you have to hold it, and then it goes and comes back up, and you go from sharp as shit. Actually, you went from that dull mode, that mode that I was completely sitting here enjoying music, to this closer, more aggressive, treble, like ramp up mode. And here's the thing, it's so soft and calm on the normal mode that when you put that on, it's like, ooh, this sounds better for a bit. And then you use it and you start getting a little bit too much into the treble, whether it's music or something, and then you switch back and all of a sudden it sounds real dull. So it's like, I almost respect them for doing this because it isn't a slight change, it's a fucking massive change. And in the world of gaming and gaming headsets, and I've done gaming videos before where I talk about it, you have 2 choices for a gaming headset. Do you want to be a fucking casual playing, you know, Minecraft? Well, actually, Minecraft can be very, very intense if you have shit going on. You want to hear those footsteps. But like, what the hell is the stupid one that everyone's on an island and everyone goes fishing? Animal Crossing. Are you playing Animal Crossing and World of Warcraft and games where it's like, it doesn't really matter if there's a footstep. It's just, I want to play, I want to enjoy and relax and just chill. And these by default are that. They're that headphone. They don't have the greatest imaging, but it doesn't matter. But they have nice, luscious pads, and the sound is warm, and it's not too sharp, and it's great. And then the other side of the headphone coin is, I want murder. I only am here to murder. Where is the next person to murder? Is that them? Where are they? And that's what the other mode is for. SAS is murder mode. It'll aggravate you because of the sharp highs. Certainly don't like just live on that all the time, but it actually makes the imaging more accurate and sharper. So the footsteps, you could actually pick out a little bit better. So why did I stop when I was talking about, is it better than the MH751? Because when you plug it in with a wire, it completely abandons both of those things. Because using the wireless, there's amplifiers built into this. And when you plug the wire in, it goes, and that shuts off. This disconnects. And now the topping A90 is all that's feeding signal to this. And the 7.1 button doesn't beep, doesn't do anything. The volume knob still works. This is still an analog volume knob for the volume. So I almost blew them up because I had this. I was like, why do I have to have this on high gain? This is like a 7 watt per channel amplifier. It's because this was down. So the reason I said that the MH751 is still better is because when you plug this in wired, the true form of this headphone comes out, and it's very good. Let's do it, in fact. Let's do it. Are you ready to do it? What do we have? Alan Taylor over there? I'm going to put these back on my head. Unpause Bob Marley. Actually, I could do the, I could do a thing. Hold on. We're going to go from, what's a good song? I need a song. Aladdin? No, something that's like, give me a, like, ooh, Aaron Kyoto. Cherry Blossom Girl. So let's see. Cherry Blah. What did that do? I didn't do that. Cherry Blah. Okay. We're gonna just hit the back button a few times so they restart the songs. So now I'm listening to Cherry Blossom Girl here via the wireless on, wait. Oh, that was the soft mode, and now it's the high mode, which sounds clearer, loses a lot of that mid-range tone, and it's like, all right. Now I'm gonna reach under here. I'm gonna give it a reach under. I'm gonna plug it in. It's sort of like a middle ground. I mean, granted, this is an A90, and I'm pretty sure whatever amplifier is living, whatever amplifier is living inside of this, when you have that 7.1 mode off, it's using that, and there's no EQ. Putting the wire through it puts a $700 DAC and a $500 amp into it, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's why it sounds better. So I might still be Team MH751. I might still be Team MH751. Which, by the way, I had to turn the volume on the side up so I could do this. Yeah, no, the buttons don't do anything. It's not a bet. Like, as a headphone only, only a headphone, it's not a bad one. Not for the price. Which I haven't even said the price. Where's the price? The price for this entirely wired is $120. The MH751 when it was sold, or if you can still get it, because it's like MH75152 right there. I'm clicking it. Is available for $90. So it's like, what's linked in the description of this video? And those are more comfortable than this. Like, this is not uncomfortable, except for the fact that the weight is twice as high as that. You're paying for the amp. You're paying the weight penalty for the weight of the amplifiers and the batteries and everything fucking else. And those are just the most comfortable headphones I've ever worn. So I mean, that's something else. And also, I would almost recommend the 752 if they were available, because then you get this wire, and not the wire with the big box in the middle. So I mean, now we're looking at it from a sound quality only perspective. I probably still do 751 or 752. Wireless, it's not bad. Does it beat the HyperX Clouds? Probably not. I think the HyperX Clouds beat this out as far as actual listening enjoyment. However, you do have to change the pads in that to the cooling gel brainwaves, so that's like another $30. And these just straight out of the box, despite the various flaws of like the weird fucking thing, and I think if you really do want to switch between, that dull, soft, warm, and murder, this is probably your best option. And then you can always plug them in, although if you have this set up, you don't concern yourself with this. So that's my main fucking thing, is like, for a wireless headphone, they're fine. They're absolutely fine. You pick between murder and soft. They have good range. They're not deathly uncomfortable. The battery lasts a long time. Oh, so it comes with the stick. It comes with a right angle USB-C adapter. So they have a USB-C in the box. It just isn't attached to the headphone. So you can do that. Look at the wires they come with. Look at these wires. Cooler Master, just sell me the fucking wires, please. I'd let Cooler Master build all my wires. This is bullshit. Look how nice this USB cable is. Ah, okay. Oh, also comes with this bag, in case you're wondering. They only come with bags. Like, they don't come in fancy. The box looks nice. It's a plastic container in it. You take it out, you're done. You got a bag. You got a USB cable with purple inlets. You get this really nice, soft 3.5mm 4-pole connection. And you got headphones that don't feel like they're going to fall apart. Wireless is solid. Battery life is solid. Sound quality, if I'm just going on that now, it's going to be the either original Cooler Masters or the HyperX Clouds. Alpha? Cloud Flight? Cloud Flight. I know what I'm doing. It's been a long week, trust me. So I'm not... where am I? These might have slightly more soundstage than the MH75 ones, which all I have here are the tax stars, which they're based off of. But I will say that Cooler Master has at least gotten close. The fact that these don't sound like absolute horseshit when you're on either regular, like soft mode, or through the wire is proof positive that they actually paid attention to what sounds good and they're trying to implement it. You know, I could easily listen to Pink Floyd's Money from the string quartet with these. And you can too. So I'm going to sound demo this. It's probably not going to be the same tracks as that because it's been months and I don't remember what the hell I used. But yeah, links to this in the description. I'm going to link to the 751. I'll link to the other ones I've done below them. I always link to wallpaper, by the way, in case you're wondering. You want to go back a couple 100 million wallpapers. They're out there. Or there was a collection of them on my Patreon just for ease of use. You can look up the original artists on Sauce Now or IQDB if you want. Because, I mean, whoever painted that or drew that deserves all the credit in the world. And sound demo down there, like I said, and links and hi-fi guides, which in case we're not quite up to spec as far as like gaming headsets go. But here's headphones, and you could adjust the price bracket you have and whether you have an amp or not, whether you want open back or closed back, and it'll give you the results and then results that are out of your price range. I picked some weird thing. I can get DT 1990s. Oh yeah. And then the forums exist. The Hi-Fi Guides forums exist. I haven't checked at the actual numbers, but a lot of these posts have 900, 2,400. They're going up there, 5,600. What did you buy today? I'm gonna keep referencing that one and not check it because I feel like I'm responsible for a lot of that 5,000 posts, and I hope people are happy with it. Anyway, these are Cooler Masters, and they're not terrible, and you should probably think about them, and only them. Right, Swan? Right. Anyway, see you tomorrow for a sound demo, and we'll dance.